You're about to hear a story so unbelievable, it feels straight out of a fiction novel. But here's the kicker. It's 100% true. Ever heard of a gun saving the Eiffel Tower? Sounds absurd, doesn't it? Well, strap in, because this is one roller coaster of a tale you won't forget. The year was 1889. Paris was alive with excitement as the world's most iconic iron structure, the Eiffel Tower, was unveiled in all her glory. Built as the centerpiece for the 1889 World's Fair, it instantly became a modern marvel. Towering over the city at 300 meters, it symbolized progress, innovation, and France's unmatched architectural ambition. But here's where everything takes a dark and bizarre turn. Just 2 years later, this giant of engineering came perilously close to being torn down. You see, the Eiffel Tower wasn't meant to be a permanent structure. The initial plans called for its dismantling just 20 years after its debut. Many locals despised the monument, calling it the metal asparagus. No joke. Artists, writers, all sorts of intellectuals claimed it was a monstrous blot on their city's skyline. One prominent critic bluntly stated it made Paris look like, and I quote, a factory town. As 1909 approached, the year its lease was set to expire, demolition loomed large. Funds were being raised. Blueprints for its removal were drawn. However, guess what tipped the scales in favor of saving this iron icon? A firearm. But not just any firearm. We're talking about the 1906 telegraph gun, a monumental innovation in wireless communication designed for national defense. Hang tight, because this gets mind-blowing. Gustave Eiffel, the genius behind the tower, had long envisioned it as more than an architectural showpiece. He believed its height could serve a greater purpose, and it did. By 1901, the tower became a massive laboratory for pioneering radio experiments. French military engineers installed experimental antennas at its peak, transforming it into Europe's most advanced wireless station. Fast forward to 1903, and this radio station intervened in saving lives. A distress signal was picked up from a stranded ship, saving numerous sailors when help was sent immediately. Suddenly, national defense ministers were paying serious attention. The tower wasn't just iron and rivets anymore, it had become a pinnacle of technological prowess. And now, enter the real star of this story, the telegraph gun, also known as the spark gap transmitter. This device, ingeniously set up within the Eiffel Tower's structure, would later transform the tower into a functioning military communication relay. The gun functioned by propelling wireless telegraphy signals thousands of kilometers. Think of it as the precursor to modern-day radio. Here's how this fascinating piece of hardware works. When triggered, it sent controlled sparks of electricity across a small gap. Insulated within its unique firing mechanism, the gun created brief yet powerful bursts of electromagnetic waves. These signals bridged vast distances, creating a crucial line of defense during wartime. And remember, all this was happening in the early 1900s, cutting-edge technology for its time. So, how exactly did this gun help save the Eiffel Tower? The French government quickly realized the tower was now far more important than they'd ever imagined. It wasn't just an architectural ornament, it had become a strategic military asset. Dismantling it would cripple their budding capabilities in wireless communication, leaving a massive gap in national security. By 1909, the decision to keep the Eiffel Tower standing was sealed, in part due to its growing role in military technology. And so, the telegraph gun may very well have been the unsung hero of this tale, preserving what is arguably the most famous structure on Earth. Without it, Paris's skyline, and indeed, history as we know it, might be drastically different. Now, every time you see the Eiffel Tower, remember this. It's more than a marvel of architecture and culture. It's a monument to the ingenuity of science and the unexpected power of firearms in reshaping our world. Crazy, right? Want more astonishing stories like this? Hit that follow button and join us as we uncover the unbelievable, the bizarre, and the downright fascinating